that you are here. So then on the other side you have Stanbic, which is also the oldest, one of the oldest banks in the, in the country, 116 years of doing banking. So we can't go wrong. If we come to you with a solution, you can trust it because we are thought leaders in this space. We're also the largest in terms of distribution, in terms of assets. By assets, in this case, we mean the bank that has lent most. 4 in 10 Ugandans you meet will have done business with Stanbic Bank. Now, that's big. But why do we do this? Because we know Uganda is home and we drive our growth. How do we do this? If you want to start a shop and you don't have capital, we give you the credit, you start, you pay back. That's what we do, that's what we've been doing for the last 116 years. And today, we are here with yet another solution to the list of challenges that he gave us. How do we help you stay connected in a digitally challenging environment? We call it digital era, but the digital divide is wide. You need a device to bridge the gap.
We'll have a very simple form for applying for this, and also a nomination form that will be required to be included, and a detail for where this will be settled from the account of the parent. So our team at the branch are fully available to walk you through those specifications and also to get your parents to be aware. But again, we have made it as simple as possible. It's not long forms, it's the fewest forms we can get for you to fill so that you can get that. So these prices are really very competitive. We try to keep it as low as possible. So that payment would go to that vendor directly, so it wouldn't come to your account. You wouldn't see 2.1 million coming to your account. It will go to the vendor just to ensure that the item can be bought in a quick manner, and you can also benefit from the benefit of a vendor who has high quality tested products and a discounted price that you can guarantee. And then the vendor shall notify the student or staff to pick up that laptop from a designated location at the university. And that handover, of course, will be premised on you providing a positive identification of yourself. We've also ensured that this device can be maintained at no cost to the student. So we have structured an arrangement with the vendor where they will, and I keep saying the vendor, but I think they will introduce themselves. I think I'll let him expose himself. But this vendor will be in charge, or will, as part of his mandate, ensure that these machines or these laptops are regularly maintained at no cost to the student. The price points are very competitive to ensure that you get the best price. The interest rate that has been put in there is approximately just over 1% per month. So it's as competitive and as low as we can get it, because the intent here is to ensure that we support you as students, the staff who are here, to have access to high quality educational interactions at the lowest possible cost. Thank you very much.
So the laptops are really 3 categories. I'm just going to go through them and try to make it as easy as possible for you to understand. The first is the lower end. It's not exactly lower end, but it's the basic laptop that that runs on 2 processors. It's a dual core, which was pretty fast a couple of years ago, and still is pretty fast. You can do your coursework. It runs on, we'll have Microsoft 365 for students for 1 year. So all your documents are automatically stored in the cloud. So you have access to them anywhere in the world. You don't have to be dependent on storing them just on your laptop. The battery life is 8 to 10 hours and can come with a backup battery pushing it to 14 hours. So an issue of electricity is way gone in the past. We also give a 1-year warranty. 1-year warranty means that we're doing tech support, like Samuel mentioned, that we'll do tech support. If you have any tech issues with a laptop, we'll have a team here. At the same time, we'll train some students from computer science to do internship with us, so they can support on the tech support. So 1 year, it's covered. Why do you need a V8 engine? Maybe you're a programmer. You're a programmer and you're working constantly with different systems. Most systems administrators use this. The third level is an 8-core. 8-core means, in layman's language, we can say it's a V12 engine. It runs on 8 processors. 8 processors, you're doing graphic work. The guys who are doing designs, the ones who are doing artwork, need a lot, they need a very powerful machine. So that's the 8-core processor. That's like a V12 or 577 horsepower. All these laptops run to 10 hours of battery life, and with a backup that pushes it to 14 hours of battery life. So we give you a warranty. So if you have any issues with your battery, we'll have a tech team on site to help support that, to change. And we're totally flexible. All these specs, Professor, all these specs were gotten from your committee, and we did some background checks, and we've really delivered what your committee wanted us to deliver. And we'll also have Mr. Mugabe and his team make sure they go through what we have physically before we start distribution. I think that is it from me. I just want to just say this again. It's really an honor. It's not, this is not beating around the bush. To work with a 160-year-old brand like Stanbic Bank, Standard Group. I was privileged to have my first job at Stanbic. I know a bit about the brand, and I also tutored at, when it was still the Faculty of Computer Science for a bit. So it's an honor to give back where I've learned a lot. So me and the entire team from A to Z are honored to work with you. We'll make sure we deliver excellence as is demanded by our partners. So that is it from me.
So we are proud to be associated with you. We are proud to be working with you to provide real solutions to real problems. So, Professor, I want to start by thanking you. Thank you very much for giving us a chance to work with you and your team. Thank you very much for this partnership, because through this partnership, we say that impossible is nothing. I mean, lasting solutions. I am very, very excited to partner with the people who are closely related to the university. And I think if I was sitting in your space, Professor, you have cause to smile, because we all stand here, we stand on your shoulders and those who came before you, the work you have done. We are fruits of your labor. Every single person who has occupied the stage before is an alumni of Makerere. So the work that you do has borne fruit, and we are here as fruits of that. At the center of it, because whatever we're doing here is to enable you. And I'm going to ask of you many things, but I'll start by asking you for your feedback. Try it, test it. If it's not working, come back and tell us, so that we can work around it. But more than that, you as students today are VIP, because we know that our future is on you, or in you. As a nation, statisticians will tell us our average age is what, 17 and a half? In fact, you people are higher. We are the old ones, because we are above 17, I believe, all of us here. So we are in that space where we have to build something that is lasting for our nation. At Stanbic Bank Uganda, we say that Uganda is our home and we drive her growth. And we're extremely excited because we're providing real solutions to real problems. I want to, less than a month ago we were here, and when we signed the MOU, that professor put me aside and said, but when are you coming? Can you come quickly? I am pleased to report that the homework is done. We are here. This is me handing in my coursework. We have delivered. It's here, and it's ready to start. I am yet, everywhere I go, I find young Ugandans ready to work. What they lack are tools. So we are answering the question of the tools. You now have a tool. I want to start by asking you to please take care of it. The duty of care, and I'll tell you why this is important. The duty of care is with you who takes this laptop. If you handle it properly, and Simon, you must tell us the useful life of this thing. Is it 5 years? If I handle it properly, I go to bed, I sing to it, how long will it last? At least 5 years, minimum of 5 years. So long after you've paid off the loan, you can still use this gadget. But beyond that, if you do it well, you enable us to continue to provide this service to other people who come. This is a volume game. The more of you subscribe, the lower the unit price. You're in class. And that is important. If for example, we are doing a lot of heavy lifting in the bank, to be able to provide it at a price that is affordable, in a place that is near you, and incorporating you as a fundamental part of the program. Because the cost of covering you is ever so high. So we want to partner. This is a partnership. Okay? When we lend out money to other people with big pockets, we don't lend at 13%, we lend far higher. But we are choosing to bring it to student pricing so that we can afford it, so that we can enable you in your learning journey. Now I'm going to wear a different hat. As an employer, right now, if you walk into anywhere, it can be Stanbic or anywhere, but I'll use Stanbic because I'm closer to the detail. If you walk in and you're not computer literate, the jobs we have reserved for you are very few. To embrace technology. It doesn't matter what field you're in. Are there any agriculture students? So when I graduated, I was lucky to graduate in a class where we did some basic computer classes. So on my first day in the job, I was an intern it was Barclays then, now it's ABSA. So they gave me a computer and they gave me a seat. I sat there, I looked at the thing, it looked at me. Now I had learned in the few computer classes I had, I knew what to type, I knew how to open Word. But never before had I had a computer to myself. In the computer lab, when we learned, you were a group of 7 per computer. So this is how, in my mind, I thought that you had to be many. So at the end of the day, I sat on the edge of the desk, so that was leaving room for the people I was supposed to share this computer with. But they didn't come. So the first day, the second day, I said, no, these people will think I'm selfish. Let me go talk to my supervisor. So I went to my supervisor, Stephen Majimbi at that time. I said, Mr. Majimbi, who am I sharing the computer with? Where are they? Please tell them they can come in the morning. Me, I'm okay to work on it in the afternoon. And that joke is told everywhere I go with the people who are in that office. Because never before had I thought that the computer ratio was going to be 1-to-1. It had to be 1 to many. But now here you are. It's not just a 1-to-1. It's a 1 in the comfort of your home or your hostel or wherever you stay. You can get something that you can use to learn. I want to urge you to use this instrument to learn. This instrument can be used for good things and bad things. Please use it to learn. Partnership is between you, the student, the bank, and your parents. We know that some of us don't have parents, but you have a guardian, right? So it's not just a parent. Don't feel like if you don't have a parent, you're excluded. If you have a guardian, you can, and we can partner with you, your guardian, and ourselves so that we can give you what you want. Is that okay? The pricing has been mentioned, I won't talk about, but I want to talk about our broader view on education. We are here by design and commitment, but I also share with you what we are doing elsewhere in education, just for just. We are the only bank that understood that fully understood that the education sector had suffered a lot. And so when it came to paying off the loans, we forgave a full year of interest of 2021. We did not charge any schools. So years, grass has grown in the building, the teachers have become border riders. We have to rebuild the education sector. So we as an institution are committed to rebuilding this sector, and we are committed to working with you. As I come to the end, I want to point out in the room, you have seen our FlexiPay banners. How many of you know about FlexiPay?
I downloaded that app on my phone, then I got an account and started to my conference.
That's on the simplest response. I see all the leadership has your money, you can make your payments. We know that the computer payments will be strictly on FlexiPay. Right? Why is this important? You start building your credits, you start building your bank transactions history right from now where you are. So when we are following you as a customer, we can see a history of what you have done. FlexiPay is important because it's also very, very affordable. My friend here will tell you that as long as you're paying another FlexiPay person, the charge is, we're not charging you. We're not charging you for transactions done on FlexiPay. And we are staying on the hill the professor has allowed us. We will make sure that all your common points, wherever you spend, whether it's in a canteen, don't do chukumi anymore. Wonder why. But the photocopier, Wandegea, all the shops around you will be with FlexiPay. So that when you're paying, even the university now, when you're paying, you can pay and transact free of charge. As I close, I want to re-emphasize my points. One, it is a partnership. Please treat it as such. The better you behave with the apparatus we're giving you, the more we can do, right? There is a duty of feedback. You owe us feedback. We've given this product, we've come and we've launched, and we're partnering with you. But we know that the experience, when I make a meal, I like for people to tell me, did I put enough salt? Was there, did I make the soup too watery? Or whatever it is, I want to know. So please, don't hold back feedback. Through your student leadership where we're partnering and our permanent office here, which the professor is yet to assign, we'll have a proper space. Give us as much feedback as possible. And which is incorporating students to learn on the job. Simon talked about it, that the repair and maintenance shop will not be manned by people from elsewhere but here. So that even as you're still working in your student life, you can earn some money. The same is true for our FlexiPay partners. For every FlexiPay account you open, we will pay you, right? We will pay you. There's a benefit to this, and yet it's very, very simple to do, right? So we're trying to prepare you for work so that when you spend your time on useful things, you get paid back. I'm very passionate about the learning part because we then start to have students who are work ready. That when you're going to your job, don't be like me. So the first time I entered for work, and you practice to the skills that you have learned here. I want to again thank you. Thank you very, very much for your time. The team will stay behind to help you. If you have any questions, I think there'll be a Q&A session after this. But even after we have left, the team will stay behind to help you, to show you how to open your FlexiPay account. I'd like to leave with a few accounts today. Open and go and try it out and come back and tell us, you know what, Stanbic, even though you've been here 160 years, there's something that me, a Makerere student, I can tell you that you can improve. That's a source of pride, isn't it? Right? So partner with us and teach us what we know. We know you know better than us in some cases. I mean, I keep reminding myself that Facebook was born in a university dormitory. Can you imagine? That is the potential that you're sitting on. The things you can do here can transform the world, not just Uganda, not just Makerere, but for
Today I just want to address myself to the students because I think the colleague from Stanbic who was explaining said this scheme is for both students and staff. But today I want to address the students. Africa is on the move. People say, finally, Africa is on the move. And as the CEO of Stanbic has said, mainly because of the large number of young people we have. So the future of Africa is in your hands. So you either make Africa better to be on top of the world, or you drop it. But I know, because you are the cream, you are going to make Africa better. The world, but more recently, people are talking of the digital era. You are either digital or you are Stone Age. So we have been having a debate around online classes and all this, and people were saying, we are too poor to do online. So you are actually saying, we are too poor to progress. It means you give up even before you try. You have decided we shall remain poor. For us at Makerere, we are saying, no, we are not going to allow you to remain behind. Because if we do that, then Africa is doomed to remain backward. And especially the CEO. The issues that affect our country. The initiative is extremely important for our country. And we really want to have a skill, a laptop skill for our students. Because if you lose the laptop, you lose all the information on it. Protect that laptop. So if you have been saying it is too expensive for us to get these gadgets, Stanbic has made this so affordable. And you only need to get 70,000 per month. But you are being told, just look for 70,000 a month, and you have your laptop. And a very good laptop. You are not buying these ones which are sold from, these are branded laptops. So, as I say, I cannot thank Stanbic enough for this response to our call to enable our students to be indeed students in a modern 21st century top university in Africa. How would it look that you get a scholarship to go for a master's in a university in the United Kingdom or US, and you move in without a laptop? How will people look at you? Are you coming from the Stone Age? Really? A student with no laptop in the 21st century from a top university? So I want to, the CEO was waiting for us here. I was still with the Shamim at a council meeting. But if arrangements had been made much better, we would have had more students. At least we should have had all the student leaders, because they are the ones who are supposed to pass on this message to the rest of the students. But I know that the students are waiting, because they have been hearing. I think some of them think we are just talking. Now you can see the laptops are here, actually. We are no longer just talking, they are here. 70,000, and you have yours. Do you believe it? It is unbelievable, but it is true. So, of course, I would like to call upon you, the President, and your team to sensitize the students about this unique offer. We have more than 35,000 students. I'm sure even those who have left will come back looking for these laptops. So for Stanbic, the market is so huge. From Makerere alone, if you say you want to supply to the people who have been here over the last 5 years, those who still don't have, you are talking of at least 50,000, 60,000 people. So let me end by once again telling you students that you are the future of our continent. Everybody is looking to you. And as the CEO said, it does not matter in which area of study you are. Everything now is digital. Even music is digital. So if music is digital, agriculture is digital, then what is not digital? Take up this offer very seriously, encourage everybody to come and get this rare opportunity. One thing that you need to understand is with the computer and with data, as the Stanbic is promising to work through Renault so that you don't just have a computer but no data. With a computer and with data, you are a truly global citizen. You can attend classes in Harvard if you think that ours are not that good, although ours are the best. But you can attend classes anywhere in the world. You can get notes from any university if you want to compare and if you want to broaden your knowledge. You can apply for jobs after university anywhere in the world. So, is there anything better than this opportunity for you? Take up the opportunity and look boldly into the future. Thank you.
A round of applause.
I'll begin by thanking the University Administration, led by the Vice Chancellor, for this initiative of bringing such a great opportunity to the students of Makerere University when you're marking 100 years. It's not an opportunity for all universities that all Vice Chancellors in Uganda have decided to do this, but particularly Makerere University has thought about it. We do not take it for granted as students. It's a university that brought you up and made you what you are, and you give back to it. I want to thank the student leadership that bought this idea. We discussed about it and they bought the idea and found it as an important initiative. Thank you so much. I'm very happy that now I can see the laptops here. So it was not a mystery. Being part of the team that signed the MOU, I'm glad that we didn't sign something that is not there, but it is there, and we can see the laptops. The world is moving into a new era, as the Vice Chancellor already says, that in this era you cannot be a student of at a university like Makerere University and you do not own a laptop. Because tomorrow you'll be told to submit your work online using your laptop. For example, when we are going into exams, online exams, many students say that we do not have laptops, so we cannot do online exams because we cannot submit our work. But then I think now that discussion is settled. We can no longer have that excuse because laptops have been brought closer to us and at a fair price. Students can be the ones working on the laptops in case they get issues, meaning that the students will be employed, and which is part of our initiative as Makerere celebrating 100 years, that increase the employment schedule of students, not employ people outside, but the students of Makerere University. I want to take this opportunity to inform the staff of Stanbic Bank that this is not going to be a failed project because the guild leadership is on board. We shall mobilize, we shall sensitize our fellow students to get these laptops, and trust me, we shall have this initiative a success.
The Vice Chancellor, Makerere University, the CEO of Stanbic Bank, the student leaders that are here, and the student fraternity at large, good afternoon to you all. While I sat here, I started to reminisce about the days when I sat on Senate. As academic minister before I became the guild president, and the time the universities were closed was the toughest for us. And the biggest question was always, where is the laptop bank? We kept demanding and asking for where the laptop bank is. But little did we know that Stanbic Bank would bring us the laptop bank. Thank you so much. We are glad that for today, as we sit here, as we look at the theme for this year's celebrations as we're making 100 years, we are looking at a transformative society. A society that is going to transform in all aspects of life, and most importantly, in the digital form. For us, seeing Stanbic Bank do this is beyond just the relationship and partnership. It's about how much you've redefined the education sector. Do not look at this as something small. You've brought a new beginning. You've given the education system meaning. For a student that is going to get this laptop at 70,000, they don't know that tomorrow it will be that laptop that will save them when they have to make a presentation for a certain interview, or that presentation that is going to make them the big people that they're going to become. And I want to appreciate the management of Stanbic Bank for believing in us, Makerere University, and what we can do. I want to thank the administration for bringing this forward for us as the student fraternity. And then also I want to call upon each and every student in Makerere University and let you know that the cry is over. For us to tell them that yes, we are the Makerere students that you know of. We are the creme de la creme of this country, or even Africa. And Stanbic has helped us take that first step towards that. Thank you so much, Stanbic Bank. Thank you so much, Makerere University.
I'm waiting for graduation in May. When I heard about the Fonaka laptop, I decided to come because of three things. So if you give me a laptop of 3.5 at 70,000, then I start working on all the programming codes I know to make sure I break into the system and take the laptop at 70K. Is there a plan that Centenary Bank and Makerere has worked on to do that? I mean Stanbic, I'm so sorry. Stanbic has stood up to defend the company that will be giving the laptop about that. If there, have you tested that system qualitatively and quantitatively to make sure that intellectuals cannot break in? That should be a serious issue to solve, because if it is not solved, this project, I believe, may not even finish 6 months, can testify. So you have to work very hard on the cyber bit of the system.
I'm a graduate from School of Education, but I never had any course unit on computer-related, something of that sort. So computer applications, something of that sort, since we're having such an advancement. Then second, mine goes to the students again. When you have such an opportunity, I urge you to really use it well. You students rarely get such opportunities. When I was at education, I'm a graduate. When I was at education, I had one laptop that was offered to me by a certain uncle of mine who was moving out of the country. It is the laptop I used for the whole course. So, someone giving a laptop for 3 years, I'm showing you there is a possibility of you using this laptop for the whole course, and you're successful at the end of the day. Thank you so much.
That 70,000 per month is, let me say, it's the best thing that can ever happen to a student. I studied in courses from 2005, and we used to share laptops in the lab as well. A laptop has to be updated daily, okay? And that is the responsibility of a student, right? And then secondly, you have to avoid links that mislead you as a student, so that you can ensure that you don't go to things that will download viruses. And then thirdly, As a university, we have the endpoint solution, that is, an antivirus. So students will be able to get in touch with us, and we shall also be able to support them in this journey of securing their laptops. We want to say that it's something that is possible, it's doable, and you need not be afraid. Throughout orientation, Professor, one of the biggest things we realized was that digital literacy was one of the biggest challenges with both freshers and continuing students.
I would like to know if there is a staff member interested in a laptop. Are the payment conditions the same as those of students? Thank you.
I'm a year one student, and I'm glad to be part of this mighty university. First of all, I'd love to thank the Stanbic Bank for the greatest opportunity you have given us. My question is, we as the year one students, for real, we haven't yet been registered, and we really lack the IDs. And the other gentleman said that applying for this Funaka laptop, you have to own a student's ID. Yeah, thank you very much.
About taking care of your machine, seeing, not just clicking on.
For the young ones, don't worry, we'll take care of you. That will be the difference. Whereas a parent will nominate a student, a staff will nominate themselves. And a parent can nominate several students as well. So.
Yeah, indeed, in our era, there should be no student at the university who is not taking some course in computing. Thank you for that observation. I'm taking it to Senate dignity. But when making my comments, I forgot to say that Stanbic intends to make the opportunity for our students to eventually assemble these computers here. So if that happens, then it will become even cheaper for the students who will come after you.
Let me see. The lady
having an element of a parent being a signatory somewhere. So I don't know about such students. Will they be able to receive laptops?
And our partner will just take a memorial picture of them and
even those of 5M and those of 1.4 are paying that 70,000 or it differs. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
On the interest rate of 13%, that cuts across regardless of the laptop. Now I'd like to clarify two things in that. Okay, the lower there's three specs of laptops. The lower spec laptop is 2.1 million shillings. The next spec laptop is 3.2 million shillings, and the upper spec is 4.2 million shillings. Now the installment that you pay on the 2.1 million, that's where you have the 71,000 shillings. On the one that's 3.4 million shillings, it is slightly higher to about 140 or so thousand shillings per month. And we can get the detail and understand. So that's important to take note, that depending on the laptop spec that you choose, interest rate is the same. The installment will be slightly higher if you take a higher spec laptop. I thought I'd clarify that. Thank you.
You get paid 6 million. You can pay up your loan, paying back early. So for this one, you have 3 years to pay the loan. But if you get the money early, team, to come here. Simon, or they can be captured. But also feel free to say it again.
Stanbic, whatever.
I know very many languages.
We need an engineer.
Funirawo computer. Bw'ofuna computer tukuwadde emyaka ne mubeeramu ne maintenance eya periodic maintenance. Enkola eno ejja kuyamba omukisa okukwata bye bayize mu kibiina ne babireeta ne babikozesa osobola okwebezaawo. Ova wano n'ogulawo akaduuka akakola computer because tukuwadde training.
Internet eri waggulu nnyo.
Mobile companies kubanga babadde bakolagana ne Makerere ne baba nga programs ez'okusomeza e Makerere ziri ku bwereere. So ekyo tukyebaliza abakozi n'abakulira ebitongole ebyo kuba nti abaana baffe basobola okusoma oba tolina data osobola okugenda ne secondary schools ezitutuukiridde nga zaagala enkola eno tujja kukolagana nabo kubanga nga bwe nayogedde nti ffe aba Stanbic twewaddeyo okutumbula ebyenjigiriza mu ggwanga oba mu kompyuta oba mu bawola ssente oba n'okukolagana. As a bank, our purpose in this here, we say that Uganda is our home, we drive her growth. It is impossible to drive the growth of a nation without investing in the young people. And there is no better investment than education. And therefore, we are partnering with several institutions, starting with Makerere, to drive a computer program where each student can afford a machine of their own and they can go and learn both within school hours and out of school hours. And we've also sympathized with the parents. We know they don't have the money to pay for a brand new laptop on day one, which is why we're saying on a higher purchase at a monthly fee as low as 70,000, a parent can afford to acquire a gadget for their children. But I also want to implore the people who join this program that teach the students to use the computers responsibly. It's also a big part. The program has 3 parts. The first is a laptop. The second is a work program that our own students will be operating and repairing and maintaining these laptops in the workshop that we're setting up here. And the third and equally important is that laptops are insured. So should there be fire, theft, or any other damage to the laptop, there is an inbuilt insurance scheme, also covered in the 70,000, that will be able to assist the students. Sorry?
How do you ensure that the students pay back? Because this is kind of a loan.
It is a loan. That is why we are partnering with the parent. Yeah, so the parent then nominates the student to receive. So the actual person that we're dealing with is the parent. And we know that most students are below the age of 18 and therefore contractual capacity. They cannot contract legally. So we work with their parents, we work with their guardians to be able to give them this benefit. Our Kisoro, this is the beauty about Stanbic, because we are everywhere and we are serving the nation from everywhere. So all you have to do is go to Kisoro branch and in the branch you will be served as if you were in Kampala or anywhere else for that matter. Just to urge them to participate, to be responsible and to give us this is a partnership. We're giving them a chance to elevate themselves and to make something out of themselves. We're also hoping that this will be a start of innovation within the university, especially in the digital space.
We have a very young population, which is a brilliant population. All we have to do is give them a chance and give them the tools to be able to come up with brilliant innovations. So I know for sure that this laptop is a key to a brighter future. And as we celebrate 100 years in Makerere this year, we are partnering to say we build for an even brighter future than we have had in the past. Thank you. You're most welcome.